Hello there.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to another Nerdz of the Decade.
Episode number
27. And dude, guess what? You guys hit the lucky number 27 because Dante, what are we doing today?
Oh yes, guys, for this one, this has actually been part of our childhood for like a long time.
If you guys can't tell by the background music, right,
yes,
dude?
Guys, if you listen closely, you can hear the soothing sounds of the one
Spotify.
and only. Yeah, Spotify.
And Pokemon Lo-Fi. If you guys are familiar, go check this. Who's the artist, Dante? Who does this? Just give him a shout out.
Oh yeah, the artist. Well, not the artist formerly known as.
Yeah, but Kaito on Spotify. Go check him out. Kaito. Yeah.
Yep.
However you pronounce that. Go check him out. He's the artist who
does a lot of the
lo-fi Spotify stuff. So if you guys don't know about him or whatever, go check them out on Spotify.
Yep.
Anyway, before we get into this, Dante,
let's introduce
ourselves. So if you don't know who we are, you should by now.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know this dude. This is smooth and grooving Aaron Goldman.
Or what else do you call me?
I also call you Junior Head, Smooth Head.
Yeah. And this over here is the one and only DJ Lewis,
yes,
or
Mr.
And also his actual name is Dante Lewis.
You guys pretty much know me right. So there's that.
That is who we are, guys. If you didn't know.
Yep, definitely.
So yeah, anyway, dude, where do you want to start with this one? Because this is cool. We actually have, guys, the OG Japanese original Pokemon cards before they were called Pokemon.
Yeah,
right,
they
Dante?
were actually called Pocket Monsters.
Yes, originally. And there were two variations of the game originally.
Right.
So they did it. It was in Nintendo Power in Japan, right? Was the very first time.
Well, it started.
Or that they showed it, right?
Right. It started in 1996.
And it was Satoshi was the name of the main character, wasn't it, Dante?
Well, Satoshi was the name of the creator.
The creator, yeah. But he also named the character after himself, didn't he?
Right, he did.
Yeah. So which was interesting because Ash's real name wasn't actually Ash. They changed it.
His name was Satoshi.
Yeah, in Japan his name was Satoshi, and they changed it when 4Kids dubbed it in English. They changed some of the names to be more Americanized and kind of so people would understand it better, right, dude?
Right, definitely.
And 4Kids, we all hate them today, but back then that was all we had.
Yeah, that's true. 4Kids actually brought a lot of the anime that we come to know now. Even though we're not really going to talk about the 4Kids One Piece.
So, dude, you know what I always think? Whenever I think 4Kids, I always think of this because I think of they're kind of like evil villains. Right? I'm always like,
yeah.
What do you think of 4Kids?
Yeah. Anime back then was like heavily censored, so.
And then I'm sure people are like, dude, I'm sure today people are like either they're like this, where they're thinking like.
Right, they're thinking about it now.
Yeah, or they're probably thinking. They're also probably thinking something like maybe they're thinking like. They're probably thinking something like this. Here, wait. Hold on a minute. Let me just get it up here. They're thinking this one. They're thinking like, you suck with 4Kids. And kids today, if you don't understand that one, look up 4Kids. 4Kids TV or 4Kids Entertainment, and you'll understand what we mean.
Yeah, they've been around since the 2000s. They used to make they had some stuff with Hasbro and Mattel. Yeah.
But anyway, Dante, do you want to read a little bit of before we show the actual cards?
Right.
Do you want to read a little bit of what you wrote?
Right. We can talk a little bit about the brief history of how Pokemon got started. And honestly, the journey really started in February 26th of 1996. Yeah. So in Japan, the franchise actually began as Pocket Monsters. Now, for the Game Boy, it was Pocket Monsters Red and Green before it was called Pokemon Red and Blue.
Yeah, and here's
they did have a blue, but
if you guys don't believe us, here's a little proof. We have one of the packs, Japanese packs,
one of the original,
original packs from the game, and you can see it says it's probably backwards, but it says Pocket Monsters up here,
right?
And that was the OG package for Pokemon, back in the day. So dude, go ahead. Yeah, keep reading.
Yeah, so basically, for people that want to know about the abbreviation of the name Pokemon, it actually came from the abbreviation of Pocket Monsters, where if you take out the letters C and T, you get Poke. And if you get rid of
croquet, only Poke.
Croquet, 7 croquettes.
You almost said cocaine.
No, God, no.
You want to get high on Pokemon?
Well, technically, that's.
I mean, I guess that's what people did, right? Because Pokemon Go, and then also they had What else? The Pokemon Gold and Silver, all the games. Dude.
Yep.
People went Pokemon crazy.
Yeah, like back when the Game Boy came out, everybody wanted to get their hands.
So, dude, tell everybody, because some of the younger audience might not know about Game Boys. Like, dude, do you remember growing up? Did you ever have a Game Boy? I never had a Game Boy.
I did actually.
You had a Game Boy?
Yeah, I had a Game Boy. I actually had like 3 different games for it.
Really?
The first one I had was Super Mario Land.
Yeah, Super Mario. Okay.
The second one was well, of course, Pokemon Red and Green, and then the third one was like the original Tetris 96.
Oh,
or something.
wow, dude, I remember Tetris.
Yeah, and actually a Kirby's Dream Land.
You had
the very first one. The very first one that came out.
Dude, if you guys know Kirby, you'll know this one.
Yeah, that Kirby.
Yes, that Kirby.
Yeah, so those are the 3 games that I had back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get rid of the stirs, you're left with the Mon. So that's how we got the name Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah.
So yeah,
like Digimon. And what else? What other show has Mon? Isn't there like a couple?
Oh, there's another one.
Bakugan. No, that's Gone, not
gone.
Mon.
That's Gone, not Mon. But there's another Mon.
Pokemon, Digimon. I'm trying to think of other ones.
I think those are the only ones.
Yeah.
Other than Come On.
Yeah, true.
But that's something totally different.
Yeah.
So yeah, the franchise was created by Satoshi Tarashi. And it focused on creatures called Pokemon and the vast world that they live in while coexisting with the humans called trainers. Not tamers. That's something totally different.
That's Digimon Tamer.
Exactly.
Which is another series that's not the original Digimon series, but it's one of the later Digimon series that came out. Which is actually, people say that one's not bad. That one actually was pretty good. But yeah, trainers for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Tamers for some of the Digimon series. Not every Digimon series, but certain ones, yes.
Right, certain ones.
And then, dude, you don't have to read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just read a little bit about the year that it started, and then also some about the something about the whole.
So basically, the whole idea of Pokemon, like you have to catch stuff and
you have
train
to capture
stuff.
Pokemon and train them.
It really came from collecting insects. That's what Satoshi liked to do.
It's funny, insects.
Yeah, he was an insect collector. So I'm like, hey, I can turn this into like pocket monsters or something.
Dude, tell people about where it started. There's only like 150 originally Pokemon, and then now there's over 900.
For anybody, like the two of us are Gen 1ers.
Yeah.
So we're only familiar with the 151 Pokemon.
Which were the original series.
Which was actually Gen 1.
Gen 1,
so we're
which, if you look on the cards go by generation. There are Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, all the way up to, what's the generation now?
9.
It's like Gen 9, yeah, so...
Yeah, it started from Red and Green, but now the current generation is Violet and Scarlet.
And just so you know, Gen 1 cards are really hard to get a hold of.
Yeah,
They're usually worth a lot of money.
Because they're out of print now.
And even the Japanese cards, original Pocket Monster cards, are becoming harder and harder to find. Right. Now, we have them here. We'll show you guys them. We'll do a comparison for you guys.
Yeah, we're going to do old school, new school comparison.
Yep.
So yeah, by 1998, Nintendo promoted Pokemon to Western audiences. They were a little hesitant. They weren't sure if it was going to be well received at that time. But however, Alfred Kahn convinced them that the series was going to do well. And actually, the person who knew about this the most was Thomas Kenny. So shout out to him.
Dude, it just like, okay, so let me say this, guys, and
good news, everyone.
It exploded.
Yeah, it did.
The brand just blew up.
It literally did. Once the 2000s rolled around, that's when that Pokemon. You remember the very first movie?
Yeah.
Pokemon the movie 2000.
Yeah. That thing blew up with Lugia and all the characters. Yeah. And Ash, interesting story. Ash Ketchum or Satoshi, right?
Yeah.
In that 1990s, he had a very different voice. His voice was very iconic.
Yeah.
And then they changed his voice a couple times because 4Kids and some of the studios recast the original cast over and over again. So there's been like 3 or 4 different actors who have done the Pokemon voices over the years, and they've changed. So if you're wondering, if you go back and watch the first season of Pokemon, you're like, hey, why are the voices so much different? That's why.
Yeah, I think the voices. I think the switch didn't. I think the switch in voices didn't really happen until
it happened later on after the first season, I think, was shot, because there's a video all about it, YouTube video all about it. And after like the first season in the 90s, they did like a whole first season or so, and then they changed they got studios changed, and they changed the voice for some reason.
Right.
And some of the actors weren't told about that or never even notified. They just switched them randomly. And so, yeah, that's kind of when some of the bigger studios got involved, and Sega did some weird things with the licensing, and like, it was strange. Like I said, there's a whole video on it. We might even do a part 2 to this.
Yeah. We'll do a follow-up.
On the actors and some of the other stuff you guys don't know.
Maybe on our studio sections, we'll do a follow-up.
But getting to
let's get into the anime series.
Well, tell people about how much cards there are now. So you said there's originally 150.
So yeah,
but now there's like
Pokemon. There was originally 151 Pokemon. Now there's about 908. Yeah, 908 different species,
which is
of Pokemon.
ridiculous. And if you guys ever look at pictures of Tokyo, there's a building in Tokyo with that number. It's actually 108. But everything's always 108 or 908 or there's always an 8 in something, right?
Yeah,
which is funny.
I'm not sure what the 8 means, but
it's supposed to be. I guess it's maybe lucky. I don't know, but yeah,
lucky number 8.
Lucky number. Oh, dude, you know Death the Kid, right?
That's
Everything
true.
must be aesthetically pleasing.
That's true.
Cut 8 in half looks like 2 3s.
It does. That actually makes perfect sense.
So Japan, everything aesthetically pleasing. Anyway,
So speaking of 4 kids, let's get into the anime series.
Yeah, so go into anime, Dante. The anime has a lot of interest. Now, there's more about the anime than what we covered here. Right. There's a whole bunch more background information. Oh, yeah. You guys can look. There's a guy on YouTube who does voice actor backgrounds, comparisons. There's a lot of information on Pokemon. Right. But we're going to tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah.
So go ahead, dude.
So the plot itself, you already know what the plot is pretty much. Ash Ketchum, and it's pretty much about Ash, who wants to become
Satoshi
or
Japanese,
Satoshi.
Yeah. Now, the animated series looks really different in Japanese. If you look at the way they're drawn, it's really fascinating to see the difference in the animation style. Like, there's a classic American animation for here, when you see it here, but if you watch the original in Japanese, it looks really different. It's interesting. It's like all the characters drop like 5 pounds, 10 pounds.
Even the opening's different.
Yeah, the opening's different too.
It wasn't, I want to be the very best just yet. So, basically, we pretty much... Well, I know me. I actually saw Pokemon all the way from the Indigo League all the way to Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, I remember.
I didn't really get past Diamond and Pearl.
I remember watching Diamond and Pearl. I don't know if I got any further than that. I think I stopped watching around that time, I think.
Right.
But yeah, it was interesting. I remember watching it in the 90s. It used to come on every afternoon. I remember Toonami did a whole thing in the afternoon when they used to do Toonami used to come on in the afternoon. They had a whole advertisement. I still have that ad, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's no ad. We still have it. Maybe at the end of the video I'll play it.
Maybe.
I'll find it. If we can find it, we'll play it for you.
If we can find it.
Yeah.
So throughout the 2000s and 2010s, the Pokemon anime series spawned 23 movies, 2 8-part series entitled Pokemon Twilight Wings. Some of you guys might know that one. And Pokemon Evolutions for YouTube. In fact... Yeah. There was another one called Pokemon Chronicles. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know if I've watched it, but I have heard of it.
So from what I heard for that one kind of did like a whole backstory on Ash's friends.
Yeah.
Wow. Like
all the way you know what's funny is that someone once said that Ash is kind of a player because he's been with. So look at all the characters, how many different characters they changed and they put him with, right? Brock never stayed in the series for the whole every season, but he was in there for at least I think 2 or 3, and then they switched out the characters.
Yeah,
they
did.
Ash, but
there was that one.
But it was funny that they said that like Ash is kind of a player because all the girls.
And of course there was actually that one season where they kind of swapped out Brock for Tracy.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. And then they also brought in other characters because there's other voice actors that play in Pokemon, like Bryce Papenbrook, the guy who we met, who's Meliodas. He plays a character in there, and so does Christina Kelly. I think plays a character in Pokemon. A couple characters.
And some of the newer, some
of the newer actors play roles in Pokemon. So if you guys are familiar with any of the actors, if you're a kid and you're watching today and you're like, hey, I've heard that name before, or maybe you're not sure who does your favorite character, we probably have met the actor behind the character,
we might have.
Or maybe you know of the actor. Maybe you've looked him up before.
Now one thing that I have noticed is the changes in Ash's design.
Yes, there have been. Yeah, they changed the animation style.
They did,
and they update him. They make him more relevant and kind of newer outfits and stuff like that.
I have no idea what because there was a particular design in one of the.
The other thing is the animation done. Did you notice how clean? Like the 90s used to have a gritty animation to it, right?
Yeah, it was hand drawn.
And then the Pokemon characters used to be kind of puffy and chunky. Now they kind of lost weight. They all dropped weight, and that's like Goku when he becomes a god, right? He's much thin and lanky. He looks like he dropped like 10 pounds, right? And so all the Pokemon characters kind of like that now, where they used to be chubby and chunky, and now they're like they lost their baby fat. Now they're like full grown
Ash
adults.
used to be fat, guys.
He did. He used to be a little chunky. Yes,
back
in the 90s.
Ash used to be fat.
We're not talking like fat, like not not like a Gabriel Iglesias big, but like he just used to be chunkier, right?
Yeah.
And so all the characters used to be. Pikachu used to be chunky back in the day, in the 90s.
Yeah. So. The original Pikachu actually was a bit of a
was a little bit
mouse.
chunky. All the Pokemon were a little bit chunky back in the day.
Yeah, they were.
But yeah, so I don't do.
Again, there was originally for
150.
Yeah, there was 151.
Now, dude, it's just ridiculous.
It's like 908 different species, each with various looks, design, and abilities.
Dude, talk about Pokemon's influence, because Pokemon had a big influence on pop culture in general. And dude, now it's bigger than ever because a lot of people, the cards are hard to get a hold of. Everything is like harder to get a hold of now since it's become so big.
Right. So I just like the.
And we used to hear people sing it at conventions. People used to sing that. I want to be the very best.
I think we have some. I think you remember that one time I took you to Otakon, like the very first year I took you.
Yes.
In 2010.
Yeah.
That Sunday afternoon, like 2 hours before we were scheduled to go back home or do whatever.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the hall, you see like 100 nerds singing the entire.
I remember us walking in the hall of a convention and just randomly out of nowhere, everybody broke out singing that song, and it was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
But it's cool to hear everyone singing it. Well, it was like a giant flash mob. If you guys have ever been, and if you're too young to remember flash mobs, they used to be the people would get together and dance, and they were all coordinated.
You don't even know when they happened.
It just randomly happens, and it was crazy to see people dance and be so coordinated and stuff. It was crazy, but it was awesome. Some people do it now. They still do it sometimes. One thing that I remember was Congo lines.
Oh yeah,
that was cool back in.
Yeah, back in the early 2000s, they were a lot of fun.
But anyway,
Pokemon,
The other thing I was going to mention was that there used to be, and this is in the 90s and also and now it's still going on, used to be a big deal, Pokemon versus Digimon. Everybody used to do this. Now, sadly, right, Digimon didn't turn out the same way. They didn't market Digimon like they did Pokemon. Pokemon was marketed very, very well.
Nintendo really promoted it hard.
They did a really good. There's a magazine, Nintendo Power. They came over here eventually after it aired in Japan, or if it premiered in Japan.
Right.
They came over here and they had a whole section on Pokemon eventually. But the cards and like the way Pokemon was marketed was very well done at the beginning, and that's why it caught on. But everyone used to say that Digimon were more powerful, and there's even a guy, I think it's our favorite, Death Battle. That's a really awesome. So if you're watching Death Battle, shout outs to you. They do a really awesome comparison of the powers and how strong Pokemon are compared to Digimon. And I remember being a Digimon fan more than a Pokemon fan.
Still is.
And I still am. So it's funny, people always have that argument, but if you really want to know the honest truth, Digimon are more powerful.
Yeah, not to mention...
not to be a hater on Pokemon. Pokemon are cool.
Yeah,
they're awesome cards to collect. The game is very well thought out and very well put together, and they're marketed very well. They're really cool. But Digimon just...
still has a dedicated fan base.
It does. It does really powerful, yeah. So, but Pokemon had a giant influence on the... pop culture in general because of the influence it had and how big it got.
True.
It probably inspired a lot of stuff.
The influence of Pokemon spanned over to other things
like Simpsons
like
and
The Simpsons, South Park, and even
Robot Chicken on Adult Swim, which is crazy.
Not only that, its influence can even be found in science.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, what did you say about the bugs and how they named...
So basically, for certain animals, they actually named those animals after Weedle and Charizard.
Which is funny.
So they got like Charizard X or Weedle Scientificus or something. So even back then, and of course, just like you mentioned, the Pokemon Digimon rivalry. Yeah. To this day, dude, there's still been ongoing debates about which franchise came first.
Well, I believe though they both came out at similar times. I can't remember which exactly was first. But did you look at that? Did you actually pull up that?
So the first piece of media, being the Game Boy games around that time, Pokemon actually came out with its first piece of media in February of 1996. Digimon released its first piece of media in June of 1997. But so there's a 16-month gap between.
But then, so that might be different in Japan because because like a lot of times when you hear the dates, sometimes and this happens, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes when
Japan usually releases it earlier than
they do, and Japan usually has it in Japan longer. So like something might get released here in the 90s, but may have been in Japan longer than when we got it.
Yeah, true.
So I'm not sure. We have to go back and check when exactly Digimon and Pokemon first premiered in Japan.
Right.
But I think here it was 1996 and 1997 because a lot of the cards will say that on the back of them.
Right.
Actually, the original Pocket Monster cards that we have do say 1996, which is when I believe Pokemon first came out.
Right.
And that should
in
be
the West,
in Japan.
yes.
And that should also be in Japan too, because the Japanese cards say the same thing.
Right, that's true.
So yeah, but yeah, so isn't that kind of cool, dude?
Yeah, it is actually. And despite the fact that Pokemon's popularity overshadowed Digimon's influence on Western culture, the Digimon influence still has a dedicated fan
and it's
base.
still going strong today.
Yeah,
like they
is.
brought back the OG characters from Digimon. And
Yeah,
done
they did.
a couple
They have tried
movies.
now.
Yeah, they've tried, and they've also done now. Despite they did a recast for Digimon just recently, sadly, which I'm sad to see. But don't get me wrong, the new series they put out is still going strong and still pretty popular. It's gaining popularity still.
Right.
It's coming back with a fire. And Pokemon is still hugely popular now, very popular, to the point where
It still
the
is.
cards are a hot commodity trying to come over them. In fact, dude, did you want to show? Do you want to show some
Yeah,
cards?
so let's show how they used to
So
look. when
let's
they
show
very
you guys.
first-
We showed you
when they very first got here.
we showed you the packaging. Now it's time to actually show you the
actual
OG
cards.
cards. Yes, from. If you guys didn't believe us that that Pokemon started as Pocket Monsters, well, here's your proof.
The
so
proof is in the pudding.
let's show. Okay, I'll start off with this. I'll start off with this card
Let's
first.
start off with
Here's
everyone's favorite fire
an
lizard.
OG. Charmander in Japanese. Now, if you notice, right, that's not your normal Pokemon card. The artwork is very, very different. And then on the back, it doesn't say Pokemon.
It actually says Pocket
It says
Monsters.
Pocket Monsters, and it also says the date that they were created. Okay, and no, these are not fake cards. These are the
No, those
OG's
are the real
original,
deal.
real deal cards.
That
You
out
can
of print,
still,
you can't find.
yeah,
it's
they're
hard to find them.
Yeah, they're very hard to find. I don't know if they're out of print, but they're very hard to find. These first editions like this, I believe they still print them in Japan, not with Pocket Monsters. It says Pokemon now,
Right.
But they still do print Japanese cards, but not like this anymore. So yeah,
Sure.
that is the original Pokemon logo. Compared to now, we also have
And
we also
we
have
the
cards
new ones.
today, right?
Yeah.
So like here's your card here's what your current gen cards look like, okay? And it says Pokemon.
So you see the difference.
Yeah,
between
big
the two.
difference between the two, and the artwork. There's a big difference between the artwork. So your OG Charmander here is kind of pudgy, whereas unfortunately I don't have a recent Charmander card, but
Right.
today they kind of look skinnier and they look like they lost a little weight. And then now we also have, to give you a comparison, we also have a couple other rare cards. So like for example, here is a Charizard card.
Yeah, you
the
got
OG
you got the Pocket
Charizard.
Monster
So
one.
here's the one from today, the team card,
Yeah.
which is the Charizard team card from today. This is the actual card from more recent times. So let me show you guys the back of it.
Yep.
So you guys know this is an official card from today. There's the back of it, right?
Right.
And here, so today's card, here is the Charizard from back in the
day,
OG Pocket Monsters Hollow Rare card.
Back in the 90s.
From back in the 90s, original Japanese card. And then there's the back, which says Pocket Monsters, which is the original way Pokemon used to be. And here's the back of today's card.
Right.
So a really different thing. Now, like I said, it's not called Pocket Monsters anymore because they changed the name once it grew big. And there used to be two different renditions of the original Pocket Monsters cards. So two very different games. And people used to collect both of them to get all the monsters. Now,
Right.
in recent days, since it became Pokemon and they changed the name to Pokemon and it caught on, there still are different versions of the cards today.
Yeah.
But the game is a big universal playing card game where you can collect them all without having to look for special packs and stuff like that.
And they also got like tournaments too, so you can.
So and then here's some of the other. If you guys want to see some of the other cards from back in the day, just to hold up a couple. Here is a Meowth card. So Meowth was kind of chubby and fat. Original Pocket Monsters card. There's the back of it, and there is that. And then we also have a Mewtwo, which is cool, holographic kind of Mew. He's kind of shiny. Original card from back in the day. There's the back of it. And like I said, these are the actual cards from there's the Charizard from today. And then there's also here, I have some other rare cards from today. So here's one, and we also have funny story. We also have a really, really rare card from today.
Oh yeah, super rare.
Super rare, which is Golden Charizard, which is very hard to get. Now, some people might say these are fake or this is fake, but no, you can actually get these. They are actually playable. They're hard. You can actually play them in the game. It's kind of like a special version of it. But yeah, they do have them. They might be worth a
lot if you hold on to them.
Yeah, they're worth a little bit if you hold on to them. They're kind of like, think of them as like collector's editions, right? So Yu-Gi-Oh! Did something like that with God cards. At first, they're like, oh no, they're fakes, you can't play them, whatever. But then they actually did real versions that you could play. You could play this in the game. It's actually usable in the Pokemon card game.
Right.
And it is official by the Pokemon creators. So it is an official card. It just is like a special edition card.
Right.
Kind of like a collector's edition.
Sure.
But yeah. So, we also have, what else do we have? We have a couple other rare cards from modern day Pokemon. And we do have other cards from the Pocket Monsters as well.
Yeah, we also have like the trainer cards.
So yeah, we have a couple. So let's show a trainer card, Dante, from the Pocket Monsters card. Here, let me pick up some trainer cards from the Pocket Monsters thing. So let's see.
There's one
here.
So we got that.
Here. We'll put two of them, and I think we have a trainer card from the new. Yeah. So here is the difference between the cards. Actually, no, that's I'm sorry, that's a Pokemon. Well, actually, I don't think I have any. This is not a trainer card. This is actually an actual monster card from today. That's from the recent Pokemon. But here's the trainer cards from Pocket Monsters, the way the game originally started, and when it got started. So there's the trainer cards, some of the different trainer cards, and stuff how it started, and they're written in Japanese. And there's the back of the Pocket Monsters compared to like a card today, which has Pokemon on the back.
That's true.
So, and that's how it originally started back in the day, guys. So yeah, very different style. And if you want to see these, you can actually see these on our website. There's a whole list of the article. We will link that below.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you guys can actually look at that. And if you look at some of other Pocket Monster cards, the characters, there's different art style back then. So here's just two of the other Pocket Monster cards, original Japanese cards from back in the day. The artwork was very, very different, right, dude?
Right. Yeah.
There's the backs of them. It even says, I don't know if you guys can make this out on camera, but on the bottom here, it does say 1990. It says 1996 Nintendo.
Yep.
Inc. And it's and it says all rights reserved. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can make that out on camera. You can kind of see down here in red. It is written there. But yeah, and so these were how they started, guys. So you can find. I think you can still find there. It's very hard to find them, but you can, I think, still find some packs on eBay. They're selling for a lot stuff. I don't know if you'll be able to find a Charizard card from back then, because that's pretty hard to find. But you can find other creatures. So, and you can find trainer cards and still. I believe they still have some of these. Like, see, here's some other cards from back in the day. The original
that's true.
Pocket Monsters cards, trainer cards, and different. You might be like, hey, why did the creatures look so fat? Well, the original artwork, they were kind of chunky. So, dude, was there anything else you wanted to say about Pokemon?
Let's see.
So there's a really cool card for you guys. But yeah. So yeah. But yeah, so that was Pokemon back in the day. And they had rare cards just like they do today, and in the 90s, that's what the characters looked like back in the 90s. Where some of this was original first artwork and original artwork from the way the characters used to look, right, dude?
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, now you guys know. We hope you guys learned a little bit about Pokemon.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hope you guys learned a little bit about it.
Yeah, and if you have any old cards, or if you have any cards like this, like the original Pocket Monsters cards, hold on to them. They are valuable. If you look them up, they're worth a lot, especially cards like that, which are the Charizard cards. Like they're worth a lot of money. So if you have any rare cards like Mewtwo or any of the old cards from back then, they're worth something. You can still play these cards. The Japanese trading card game, you can still play them. You can still play the original game. If you can read Japanese, you can actually play the game as it originally was intended.
Right.
And then the new cards, you can still play with the new cards too. Now, the old game, the old Pocket Monsters game was played the same way or similar to the way it is played now. Now they've updated the game, of course, quite a bit since then. But the Pocket Monsters game, the 2 decks, the 2 variations, were still used just like you would play, similar to the way you play today. You would have 2 different decks, and there'd be different versions of the cards, depending on what kind of creatures you want to collect, or say you want to make your own deck or whatever. Right?
Or basically what kind of abilities you want to use.
Exactly, and you'd get different cards or different rare cards in the packs, and it was really cool. And then later on, I think Nintendo had a whole section eventually called Pokemon and Poke Center in the back of there.
Oh yeah.
When it came over here, and it was really cool. It was neat to see. So yeah, if you guys want to check out a video, I recommend checking out Chris Stuckman. Dante, tell everybody about Stuckman.
Yes, Chris Stuckman. Well, he used to be a big-time movie critic where he would do like analysis of all the different.
He would, yeah. He would do breakdowns, and he would talk about movies, and he would tell you about Toonami and stuff like that.
Right.
And now he actually became a
a film director.
Yeah, film director. Yes, and so he does more film stuff. But he's a good content creator and good person to check out if you're looking to find out more information about Pokemon. He does a whole thing on it in his Toonami retrospective on Toonami. And then also you have other guys out there. So if you guys are want to know more about Pokemon, look up some of the creators. And now, let me see if I can't find some of the old Toonami Pokemon.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely, if you guys, some of you guys may not even remember this, but there was something called Super Saturdays. Where it did show Pokemon, like
It did. It showed the 90s Pokemon.
The first initial season of it.
Yep. Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay, so let me pause the Spotify for a moment so you guys can hear this. And this is a little treat at the end of the video because we're gonna wrap this up.
Just a little something to wrap it up and show you what cartoons were like back then, like the very first season of Pokemon, so you can understand that a whole lot of Gen 9ers. This is kind of how it got started.
So here we're gonna do.
Way back.
We're gonna play one of the right at the end of this.
Yep, I think right
about here. So ready, guys?
Let's go.
Yep. Play a little bit of Super Saturday for you guys.
Yep. Before it was called Toonami.
Yeah, before Toonami. And you'll hear the Pokemon commercials. Dude, Pokemon's advertisement was really cool back in the day.
Yeah, it was actually.
It was neat. Here you go.
And you can find this on YouTube as well.
Yeah, you can find this on YouTube.
Oh, I remember this one.
I do too. I remember how annoying it used to be because he played all the time.
Yeah, a lot of you kids may not know, today's kids, you may not even know this.
Yeah.
This is how they advertise.
And they showed the characters as the original artwork. The chunky Pikachu, they showed him on here. Unfortunately, we can't show it because copyright. So
yeah. So again, you can find it on YouTube.
Cartoon Network
has more Pokemon than anyone else.
Yeah.
You can see your favorite Pokemon battles and characters Monday through Thursday. That's a lot of Pokemon. Watch Pokemon Monday through Thursday nights at 8:30 and 9. Only on Cartoon Network.
So yeah, guys.
Yeah, so that's how it was back then.
Yeah, those were the commercials. And if you're wondering about Super Saturday, just real quick, Super Saturday, for some of you who don't know the 90s, let's go back a little bit.
Yeah, just go back just a little bit.
We'll go before the Pokemon commercial. Super Saturday, we can actually play the starting of Super Saturday.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Taste of how they used to advertise anime and also other stuff.
We could probably leave that there. On Super Saturday.
Yeah, so this is Super Saturday. There you go. That's how it used to start.
Yep.
You're in the middle of Eden.
Yeah, it shows like He-Man and Justice League.
Justice
Stay
League.
tuned for a special 1-hour Justice League.
They used to do games and all kinds of cool stuff, but yeah. You can find this on YouTube, guys, too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you guys are wondering.
Yeah, Super Saturday was an old block before it kind of got upgraded. Before it got upgraded.
Before Toonami came along. So yeah. Anyway, guys, we hope you enjoyed this. And Dante, how do you want to wrap this up, dude?
So basically, guys, Pokemon is huge, but if you really want to know how it started, it really started from Generation 1. So all I can say is If you like Pokemon, hey.
And dude, if you like this episode, make sure you subscribe and like
and subscribe.
this episode. Yep. Or else, we might have to. We may have to get angry, and we might cause some.
Exactly.
Or even maybe we even go. Go Super Saiyan.
And kick your butt.
Yeah, kick your butt. Yeah, exactly. So anyway,
that would be a bad thing.
Yeah. So anyway, guys. Till next time. Right, Dante?
So yep. Until then, we hope that your
granted. Farewell. Peace.
Stay out of trouble.